grab your notebook and a pen. We'll see Claw and Moose cousins here. Your best is always cool. Come and learn at Overall School. Hello, I'm Mrs. Overall, and welcome to Overall School. From the time you were a baby, you were very good at looking and listening. And you've done that every day that you've been alive, I bet. Looking and listening can help us to learn to read and to write. And that's what we're here to do at Overall School. I'm going to show you something that I think is really cool. I'm going to use my one hand to make a motion to go with every sound in the alphabet. It's going to look kind of like this. A, B, K, D, F, G, H, I, J, like that. With just one hand, it's going to help your brain to remember the sounds of the alphabet. Well, this is going to help you to read and write. So every day, we're going to listen and we're going to look. It's kind of like blocks, building blocks. I love to build. Look and listen and look. And we're going to do that with friends. I have some Moose cousins and I have a friend named Claw. I'll introduce them to you in just a little bit. The second part of the class, we're going to be doing some writing and some reading. Learning or using what we've learned with that new sound. We'll do one sound a day so that we can read and we can write. We can write and we can read. Reading and writing, both sides of the same brick. What you will need, or you might want to have, is paper and something to write with. I went to the dollar store and got a book like this. You can go to another store and probably get them even cheaper than $1. Or if you have a piece of paper around your house that has lines on it, that would work too. And then something to write with. I like a pen, but when I'm here teaching you, I usually use a marker, and my friends here use a marker because it shows up better with the camera. So you can find, it also soaks through the pages. So if I were you, I'd use a pen or a pencil, something that doesn't soak through the pages as much. But for years and years and years, I taught first graders. I taught lots of kids, hundreds of kids, to read and to write and to learn science and do all kinds of things. And now I'm teaching my friends, the Moose cousins. I have lots of Moose cousins. I probably could count them sometime in math class, but this is for reading and writing. Yeah. I call them the Moose cousins. I think technically when the company made them, they were supposed to be reindeer, but when I bought him, he said his name was Moose, didn't you? Okay, so I call you Moose. And they think it's funny when I call them mooses. Really, when you have more than one moose, you could say 1 moose, 2 moose, 3 moose, 4 moose, but they like it. They think it's funny when I say mooses. So sometimes I will do that. I will say mooses just for you guys. Yeah, and they're all cousins. These are very quiet guys. Well, except for your bell. You're right, your bell is there. And they whisper. They can tell me all kinds of things. Yes, yes. There are more cousins than just 2, right? And they'll be coming, right? If you have a stuffed friend, maybe you want to get your stuffed friend to be with you at Overall School. Sometimes these cousins like to pretend they're kids and they'll dress up in kids' clothes. But your fur is really much more comfortable, isn't it? Yeah, whenever you're my writing assistant, then you just wear your fur. Yeah, yeah. Oh, good. I have another helper who's not as quiet as the Moose cousins. His name is, my name is Claw. Oh, yes. Your name is Claw. Claw, nice to see you again. Nice to see you too, Mrs. Overall. Thank you. Claw, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I am a lobster. A lobster? I thought lobsters had 8 legs and head and antennas. Well, actually, I'm just a lobster claw, so that's why my name is Claw. Claw the lobster. Okay, you're a puppet. Uh-huh. Well, what else do we know about you? Well, I have a hard outside Yes, you do. It's a very hard outside. And you have something hard inside. Oh, it's my skeleton. I can feel my bones. I can feel my clavicle. I can feel my ribs. I can feel my skull and my mandible. Yeah, well, my skeleton is on the outside. Well, that's called an exoskeleton. I know. That's like my superpower. I have an exoskeleton. Right. Hey, skeleton begins with the sound that we want to talk about today. The sound of the letter S. Whoa. Your hand went back and forth like a snake. Yes, it did. I have something for you. Oh, okay. What is... Oh, this was a great day to bring this. It's a snake skin. Where did you get it?
A friend gave it to me.
A friend gave it to you?
Uh-huh.
Well, look, I'm gonna show my friends. Look at the scales on this. A snake is a reptile, and reptiles have scales. There's smaller scales on this side, and then there are very wide scales where the belly is. So this is the part that helps them to crawl. Now, this is kind of like an empty sock. You probably have taken a sock off, and then you can just bend it all around. When it's on your leg, it doesn't bend. Well, when this snake skin is on the snake's body, it just bends when the snake bends. But now it's like an empty sock. It's pretty cool. We don't have any snakes this big at Overall School, but Claw, thank you. Snakes are part of science, and I love science. Whoa, interesting things. And I have this guy. Oh, yes. You know what? He kind of looks like a real snake, but he's not. He's made of wood.
He's my friend Sylvester.
Oh, so Sylvester the snake. You know what? I can make him go into the shape of the letter S. Let's see. Ah, look at that. Pretty cool, Sylvester. Where'd you get him?
Granny gave him to me. I live with Granny.
Oh, yes, I know. Some kids live with moms and dads, and you live with Granny.
Uh-huh. In the ocean.
Well, yeah, in the Atlantic Ocean. That's where Granny lives.
Uh-huh.
Do you go home every day to the Atlantic Ocean?
Not every day.
No, that's pretty far. But I like Sylvester. How do you know that it's a boy?
He has a pointy tail.
Oh, yeah. I've read that boy snakes have pointy tails and girl snakes have blunter tails. More like the end of my little finger would be a girl snake. Here would be a boy snake, and he would be, I guess, that side, a girl snake. Pretty cool. Well, snake begins with the sound of the letter S. We make that sound. Can you say that? Right. And with one hand,
I don't have a hand.
Well, no, I have a hand. With one hand, I can make the shape of the letter S as I make the sound of the letter S. So we're going to go like this. Cool. Are you going to talk more about that? I am going to talk more about that. And you are going to be my helper some of the time. The Moose cousins are going to be my helper some of the time.
And I'll come back at the very end.
Why?
'Cause I want to tell a joke.
Oh, okay. You can come back at the very end, but just a short joke. Claw. Now I have lobster slobber on me. Slobber. We just finished learning the sound of the letter S, how it goes S. Well, here I am with my friends, the Moose cousins. These are my helpers. And they're going to help. Oh, yes, thank you. Let me move you out. Get this brick. This brick says look and listen. Those are the things that we want to do first here at Overall School. We want to look and listen, and then think about that. So we have looked at the snake and what Claw had to show us, and then we've listened to the sound. So let's review the sound of the letter S. Get one hand ready. Ready? Again. One more time. Right. The capital S, some people call it uppercase or capital, looks like a big snake. And the lowercase s looks like a little snake. Capital letters or uppercase letters always start up higher than some of the lowercase letters. Lowercase letters can be tall or short or have their legs hanging down. In fact, the Moose Cousins are going to help us with that a little bit later. They're so excited to help. But we have the sound of the letter S. Here you can see the alphabet. Here's the capital S, the uppercase S, right here. On the back, it's not nearly as big. There's the lowercase. I'm going to sing the ABC song. And you friends can sing or you can hum or you can listen. It's fine. And you can sing with me if you know it. With the capital letters, uppercase letters. Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Good job. Now on the back, we're going to sing the same song, but we're going to stop when we get to the S. Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. Now think about that sound that the S makes. Those are words. If you hear the sound at the beginning, those are words that probably begin with the letter S, with the S sound. So cousins, Moose Cousins, I'm glad you're here today. Can you think of a word that begins with the S sound? Yes? Sun. Oh, yes, the sun isn't out today. It's kind of a cloudy day, but the sun warms the earth. It's the closest star. How about another one? Yes? Yes, snake. That's an easy one because you could look right at there and see that snake. So we have sun, we have snake, and yes? Scarf. Oh, you do. You have your scarf today. Scarf begins with that sound. Does anybody here have a name that starts with Sam? You're right. Sam, your name does begin with the letter S. Because it's a name, it's going to begin with a capital S. What we're going to do, cousins, I have a notebook. Some of the kids might have the same notebook that we do, or they can use a piece of paper. But in this notebook, we're going to write the letter S. We're going to draw pictures of words that begin with S. We're going to do lots of work in here. Maybe even later on, after a couple days, we'll write a sentence. But right now, here, if I open this up, I'll show them a little closer. There are lines here. And if you notice, there's blue lines going across. We call that horizontal. And then we have red lines that go up and down. We call that vertical. Well, up here in the very corner, that's where I'm going to make a capital S, uppercase S, and a lowercase s. Just like I'll do it here on my whiteboard. A capital S looks like a snake, but it's big. Lowercase s is just about half the size. So that's what I'm going to put, an uppercase S and a lowercase s, here in my box. Right here, see that? There they are, uppercase and lowercase. You can do the same thing in the corner of your page. And on this page, we're going to draw pictures of things that begin with S. So Sam, would you like to be the helper today? I know all you cousins share the book. So I will let you make the pictures today, and your cousins, your friends that are the Moose cousins, they can help you. Yes. Thank you, Sam. You know what? I'm going to write your name down so that I remember that you've had a turn. And that way we can have everybody have a turn someday. Well, here, I made this board so that it looks like your notebook. It has horizontal lines and one red vertical line. On the red vertical line, we'll talk about this more later, but I'm going to do a little pattern. Right where these cross, I'm going to put a dot and then a line down. Dot, line, dot, line, dot, line, dot, line, dot, line. You notice that the dots and the lines aren't touching each other? I could keep that going right down the page, but I'm going to use where the line is. That's the edge of a box, and I'll tell you the secret of the box a little bit later too. But that helps me know where to put the letters. So for Sam, whose name begins with an uppercase S, I'm going to make it taller than the box. There's the box. The A, I'm going to make the same size as the box. In fact, this looks like the top of the box and the bottom of the box. And M is going to fit in that line, in between those lines as well. Sam, that way I know that you've had your turn. And that way tomorrow we'll write down somebody else's name and they can be in charge of the book. Okay. You can draw as many things as you can think of that begin with a S sound while Mr. Overall plays some music for us. He's going to play for about 2 minutes because it's always nice to listen to music while you're working, I think anyway. Not everybody thinks that, but so we're going to listen to about 2 minutes worth of music. And Sam, you, with your cousin's help, can draw on that S page. And you can use your notebook or a paper that you have at home. It doesn't matter whether you use a pencil or a pen, something that works easily for you and that you can hold very nicely together. When we come back after 2 minutes, Claw will be back because he loves to see what the Moose cousins draw, and then he tries to draw some himself. So I'll see you in about 2 minutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. The Moose Cousins are done now too. Sam has finished making her pictures of things that begin with a S sound, the sound that the letter S makes. Here you see that uppercase S, lowercase s in the corner to remind us that all these pictures should begin with S. I see a swing, steps, or maybe stairs, star, sock, sun, oh, spider. Nice job, Sam. And a squirrel. Okay, Claw wanted to try to make a picture also. Claw, are you ready to make a picture?
Well, I can try.
You can try. I'm not very good. Well, you know what? You have to be bad at something before you can be good at something. So here, hold the marker. First you make a circle.
Ah!
Then, really the sun is a circle, but a lot of times people and moose and lobsters make rays coming out from the sun. Sometimes rays actually show when you're looking at a sun behind a cloud, but it can be heat, it can be light coming out. That's what we get it. The sun is the closest star. So you're ready to make those rays?
Uh-huh.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, let me help you. 6, 7, 8.
6 and 6 and 7 also begin with S.
That's right. 6 and 7 begin with the sound of S. S.
Okay, that makes me smile.
Here at Overall School, we write using something called Moose in a Box. When we can write, it helps us to read. When we can read, it helps us to write. Reading and writing are both sides of the same brick. Maybe some of you like to play in boxes. I like to play in boxes. The Moose Cousins like to play in boxes. I have a big box. The Moose Cousins take turns with a little box. When I get into the box, I pretend that I am a moose and that I'm also a letter. Let me see if I can show you. I'm getting my body into the box, my whole body. I can feel the top of the box with my head. I can feel the bottom of the box with my bottom. And there are sides to the box as well. But the top and the bottom are the lines that we're going to be using in our notebooks and on papers and on my whiteboard. A lot of letters are kind of small and they fit right inside here, like the lowercase a and c and e are smaller letters. They fit between the top line and the bottom line. When I pretend that I'm a moose with an antler, I stick my antler out of the box. And these are the taller letters. Antler letters like B and D and F are antler letters. Sometimes I have my leg hanging out. It's below the bottom of the box. And this would be a letter like G and J and P, Q, Y. We call those leg letters. So we have leg letters and box letters and antler letters. We make these letters on lines. I tried to make my whiteboard look like your notebook. Now, it's hard to tell sometimes which lines to use. So there's a pattern here. On the top line where the red and the black line come together, I make a dot. And then I make, connecting these two, That's the side of the box. So I have dot, box, dot, box, dot, box, dot, box, dot, box, clear down to the bottom. There's my pattern. Let's find the letter S in the lowercase letters and see whether we can decide whether it's a box letter, an antler letter, or a leg letter. Here's the top of the box, here's the bottom of the box. So that letter S fits inside the box. It's going to be a box letter. Just like you, Sam. You look much more comfy. You want to crawl inside the box for me? Okay, go ahead. Oh, yes, you fit nicely inside that box. Your antlers are inside, your legs are inside. You're a box letter. You're the letter S. And I wonder if we can make a letter S with a pipe cleaner. Let me see. It's a very bendy letter. So I'm going to make that, try to make that with my pipe cleaner. Bend it around. Ah, yeah, there it is. I can make the letter S with a pipe cleaner. And if I can do that, then that means I can make the letter S with my marker or my pen or my pencil without lifting it. So let's try that here. Okay. First, I have to show my lines here, whether it's a dot line or a box. A dot or a box. Well, here's a box line. So I'm going to start at the top of the box or near the top of the box. And I'm going to squiggle around and fit it in there. That fit pretty well. Sometimes when I wasn't good at writing, I would make it backwards. You don't want to do that. Sometimes I would make it an antler letter by mistake. Not for a lowercase s. Sometimes I would make it a leg letter by mistake. Don't want to do that either. In your book, Sam, we're going to, where is your book? Oh, here it is. Oh, you want to use a marker so the kids can see it better? Okay, would you like me to show them the pattern to remind them? Yeah, because it is just the first time that they've done it. We've talked about it, but. On your paper, down this red line, that's where we're going to mark whether it's a dot or a box. Dot, box, dot, box, dot, box. You don't have to do the whole paper, but you can get started so that you can see. Oh, here's my first box line. So I'm going to start here at the top, and I'm going to squiggle, and squirm around and make the letter S. Sam and I are going to make 5 letter S's in this box. And then we will look at them. When you are done, you can look right back up here. Okay, Sam, they're going to work and we're going to work. Ready? Okay. Okay, you're done with that first line? Okay. Well, we'll show them ours. Yes, some very nice ones, and then some that aren't quite so nice. You try your best. I want you to look at your favorite one, and then try in the next box to make 5 more that are just as nice as that favorite one of yours. Go ahead. Come on, Sam, you can work with me. Okay, yes, you're looking at look. Here we have it. Here's Sam. Sam, now I want you to circle the one that you think is your absolute favorite. Oh, you would like me to do that? Okay. I like this one. That'll be my favorite. You can go ahead and circle your favorite as well. We're going to take a little break right now. If you want, you can continue to work on your letters. You can continue to work on your picture. You can make your dot box pattern to get ready for your writing. Or you can take a wiggle break with me. If you want to take a wiggle break, stand up. And let's take a big breath in and out. And in and out. And wiggle your hands. Wiggle your elbows. Roll your shoulders. Roll your neck. Wiggle your body and your legs and your feet and all over. Then get your two hands. Two little hands go clap, clap, clap. Two little feet go tap, tap, tap. Two little fists go thump, thump, thump. Two little feet go jump, jump, jump. One little body turns around. One little friend sits quietly down. We've learned about the sound that the letter S makes. I'm going to use these moose friends, and they're all cousins. I'm going to use the moose cousins to help me with this sound. Is one sound, so I have one moose. But if I have the word sew, like I need to sew a button on my shirt, then I have two sounds, so I need two helpers. So. They go together to make a word. How about the word sun? The sun is the closest star and gives us heat and light. How many sounds do you hear in the word sun? Let's say it slowly. Sun. Now, when I say it again, I'm going to put up some friends. Sun. Three sounds, three helpers. And three letters, if we were writing it down. How about the word sigh? Let's say it slowly. Sigh. And then I'll have some helpers. Sigh. Two sounds, two helpers. How about the word sad? I was sad when my friend moved away. Sad. Let's say it slowly. Sad. And now I'll get some helpers. Sad. Sad. Three sounds go together to make one word. You know what? S can be at the end of words also. Whoop! So here's a sound that here's a word that has the sound of the letter S at the end. Bus. I think it's fun to ride a bus. Let's say it slowly. Bus. So we have bus. Three sounds, three helpers. Let's try one more with at the end. How about mess? Say it slowly. Mess. And let me get some helpers. Mess. Three sounds in the word mess. I have a rail that my helpers can be on, but you probably don't have a rail, but you probably do have an arm. And so we can use our arms to help us figure out sounds and just have imaginary friends on here. So if I were saying the word sun, sun, and then I could put them together. Sun. How about the word bus? Try that one. Bus. That works. Listening is going to help us read and write and read. See you next time at Overall School.
What has 8 legs and sneaks